good evening, bringing you the very latest from the studios here in Colombo. This is News First Week and Pantan News with me, Kunshani Edrasinghe. Let's start off with a look at your headlines tonight. Inclement weather continues. Met Department request to refrain from fishing. Attorney at Law Maitri Gunaratna has made a complaint at the Supreme Court stating that Minister Vimal Weerawansa was in contempt of court. The body of the person suspected to have murdered a child in Piliyandala found in a house. UPFA Kalaniya Pradeshya Sabha member Hasita Madawala, who was rushed to the National Hospital after being shot at, has passed away. This was confirmed to News First by the director of the National Hospital, Dr. Anil Singha. Hasita Madawala has been shot at in close proximity to his house located in Kalaniya. The Consumer Affairs Authority has granted approval for both Litrogas and Laugh Gas to increase their prices by 150 rupees with effect from midnight tonight. Thereby, a domestic cylinder of gas, which was earlier priced at 2,246 rupees, now costs 2,396 rupees. The two companies earlier requested to increase gas prices. The Laugh Gas company had requested for a 517 rupee price hike, while Litrogas has requested for a price hike of 300 rupees. An investigation has been launched into the mysterious death of fish in large numbers in a canal that connects to the Kalani River from Suryagama, Kadwata. The public health officers have requested the public to be cautious when obtaining water from the canal.
The canal flows through Batahenapara, Suryapaluwa, Kadawata, Kiribathgoda, Bandarawata and Dalupitiya. A group of on-duty police officers in Indiramulla had witnessed the dead fish in the canal and had informed the office of the Public Health Inspector. The public health officers who commenced their investigations this morning had collected water samples and samples of the dead fish from the canal. We have obtained a water sample to be sent to the government analyst. We cannot say what has happened for sure. Meanwhile, area residents said that they witnessed a bowser dispose a certain fluid into the canal from the Batahenapara area. They drove the bowser away at once. There were strong fumes after that. I woke up at around 9:30 for a strong smell. It smelled like petrol. Our correspondent said that the smell of a certain chemical compound is evident in the vicinity of the area. Researchers from the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency too had arrived at the location to conduct tests. Meanwhile, senior lecturer of zoology at the University of Kalaniya, Udaya Priyantha, and a group of others collected samples of water from the canal and of the dead fish. Investigations have showed that the eyes of the fish have turned white. This is caused by strong poison.
Gale force winds that swept through two districts in the country have destroyed over 60 houses. The Department of Meteorology says that the atmospheric turbulence has developed to a low pressure zone.
Gale force winds had swept through Haputale, affecting many villages in surrounding areas as well. Nuwara District Secretary DPG Kumarsriya said that over 30 houses were destroyed in Nuwara, Haldumulla and Haputale.
I
request the residents to remain indoors because of the weather situation. There are foreigners in Haputale. Therefore, I request hoteliers to inform their guests to remain indoors until the situation is calm. Meanwhile, gale force winds also destroyed a number of houses last evening in Polonnaruwa. We don't get any help and we can't stay in other people's houses.
The roofing tiles have broken or fallen off. Yesterday we had to spend the night in another house. We have no means of income to repair the house. We are helpless.
The District Secretary of Polonnaruwa said that steps are being taken to provide compensation for the damages. The roofs of around 15 houses were blown away. The gale force winds have destroyed close to 31 houses in Polonnaruwa. 100,000 rupees will be given to houses that were destroyed and compensation will be given for other damages based on an assessment.
Duty officer of the Department of Meteorology, Anusha Varnasurya, elaborated on the weather situation that can be expected.
The turbulence of the atmosphere that persists around the island has developed to a low pressure zone. It is now located 400 kilometers southeast of Puttuvil in the Bay of Bengal. Heavy rains can be experienced in the central, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in several areas in the southern province. Strong winds will also accompany these rains. Heavy rains can be expected along the coastal belt from Batiklo to Hambantota and also towards Galle. We kindly request to refrain from engaging in naval and fishing activities.
Another 2 incidents of yellow rain was reported yesterday. Furthermore, spill gates of several reservoirs have been reopened.
Our correspondent said that a number of villages in Batiklo, including Pattapuram, have been inundated. The inclement weather has also hampered day-to-day activities in the Ampara district. Yellow rain was experienced last evening in the Kanugaloya, Akiriampola and Baduli villages in Bibila. Yellow rain was also reported from the Watalanda area in Ambalantota. Meanwhile, all 10 spill gates of the Barakrama Samudra have been opened by 6 inches each. All 7 spill gates of the Minneri Reservoir have also been opened. The irrigation engineer has taken measures to open all 12 spill gates of the Kaudulu Reservoir as well.
The body of the father who has allegedly killed his 1-year and 4-month-old daughter in the Batuandara area in Piliyandala was found today. The police suspects that the man died after hanging himself inside the house.
The body of an individual was found inside a house in the Palagama area in Kahatuduwa. This was the house in which he and his family members resided until the 31st of December. The neighbor has seen the man arriving at the house in a 3-wheeler yesterday. The individual has previously worked in the Navy and the daughter is from his second marriage. The deceased has 3 children from his first marriage and once was in remand custody for raping an underage girl who was a relative who looked after his children. While on probationary care, the young girl gave birth to the child who was the victim of the assault. After obtaining a divorce from his first marriage, the man legally accepted the young girl he raped as his wife and the couple lived together for 3 months. The children from his first marriage too have lived with them as the wife from the first marriage has left the island. The family arrived in Kahatudu on the 1st of January to live in a rented house in Piliyandala. They arrived in the evening on the 1st of January to settle here. We didn't know that there had been such a problem. This morning she has woken up and left in a van. Thereafter, he wore a black short and went walking. The police stated that the assault has been carried out because the problem aggravated. The child who suffered severe injuries in the assault died upon the admission to the Piliyandala district hospital. The post-mortem examination into the death of the child was conducted today, while the magistrate inquiry into the suicide of the father was also carried out this afternoon.
Child abuse. The National Child Protection Authority says both physical and mental abuse of a child comes under child abuse. Many incidents of child abuse have been reported in the recent past. A 4-year-old girl was abused and killed in Mandatu, Jaffna. A mother abandons 3 girls in the Bandaragama area. The remains of an infant discovered in Yakalamulla, Galle. The latest incident reported from Piliyandala, where a father assaulted and killed a 1.5-year-old child. Over the years, incidents of child abuse have seen an increase. Yesterday marked the National Day Against Child Abuse. Will child protection continue to remain as a mere word until January 2014?
In other local news now, Southern Provincial Council member Maitri Gunaratne says that he has made a complaint to the Supreme Court against Minister Vimal Veeravansa for contempt of court. He disclosed this while addressing a media briefing in Galle today.
Vimal Veeravansa අමාත්‍යතුමා කියලා තියෙන්නේ මේ අධිකරණය තීන්දුව හොරාගේ අම්මගෙන් පේන අහනවා වගේ තමයි කියන එක. ඒකට මේක මුළු ශේෂ්ත්‍රයට බලපාන කාරණයක් කියන එක.
This affects to the entire field. As a member of the Select Committee, he had been accusing the Chief Justice when she was appearing before the Select Committee. It is obvious that the judiciary of this country has been affected due to the unruly manner of these ministers. I made a complaint to the Supreme Court seeking a comprehensive investigation followed by legal action against Vimal Veeravansa.
Deputy Leader of the United National Party Sajid Premadasa attended an event under the Masjidul Pudu Olive initiative in Galle today.
Very recently, I heard a minister say that the Court of Appeal requesting for an interpretation from the Supreme Court is like a burglar asking his mother for information. I would like to ask that minister from whose mother did they seek information to implement the impeachment motion after obtaining the signatures of 117 parliamentarians. I would like to mention one thing to the minister who went on a fast against Ban Ki-moon. Dear Minister, you should be aware that you should equally respect the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. The judiciary cannot be good for you at one time and bad at another. Today, the government is trying to pull out racism because they cannot increase the prices of goods and because they cannot provide explanations to the economic burden the people are facing. When they cannot evade the issue between the judiciary and the executive, what do they try to do? They try to instigate racial conflict. We should change this concept. Deputy Leader of the United National Party Sajid Premadasa made a monetary donation to the Jamal Hasnat Jumma Mosque in Galle under the Masjidul Pudu Olive initiative. The Deputy Leader MP Sajid Premadasa also attended an event to distribute books to students at Islamic religious schools organized by the Kabir Hashim Foundation.
UNP parliamentarian Karu Jayasuriya says that there will be no democracy in a country if its judiciary collapses. He made this statement during a function held at his office in Gampaha.
The event was held to mark the commencement of official activities at the office of parliamentarian Karu Jayasuriya in Gampaha for the new year.
යම් කිසි විදිහක රටක අධිකරණය කඩා වැටුනොත් ඒ රටේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයක් නැහැ.
There will be no democracy in a country if its judiciary collapses. The country will be headed towards a dictatorship. The Divinagama draft bill will be brought up on the 8th of this month and there are various issues surrounding it. The frightening fact about it is that 90 billion stands to be spent. However, the manner in which this 90 billion will be spent and who will be responsible for it is not mentioned. We are speaking out about this because it is public funds. We continue to borrow money without any concern. However, we are saddened when we see how money is being wasted.
And time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day. And we now go in for a short commercial break. Stay with us first.